Battlefield's maps are pretty damn spectacular, but from the moment I loaded into Ballroom Blitz, I knew this was the one for me. The setting, the diversity of environments, the architecture, the mix of indoor and outdoor play, huge open battles and tight corridor encounters, all of it is just really well paced and I absolutely love it. So in this video I want to give you a quick tour of the major features of the map, as well as plenty of tips along the way for how you can use each position to your advantage. Let's get started. So first up, let's spend a moment just orienting ourselves around the layout of the map. You'll notice that there are 5 capture points in Conquest mode, and it's actually quite important to understand the asymmetrical nature of this map. Notice that points A and B are quite separated from each other and further away from the action, whereas C, D and E are certainly much closer. Those starting on the eastern side of the map are going to have a much easier time taking C, which is the ballroom. That's because there's actually a network of hallways that leads directly into there for them, whereas those starting on the western side don't have the same advantage. However, their spawns are closer, meaning that they can get there faster. As for where most of the fighting takes place, you can definitely expect C, which is the ballroom, to be the hotspot, and D, which is the north garden, to also be a central point of action. So how do we make the most of each different capture point? Well, as you can see here at D, the main point is to use a long range rifle and to use the different points of elevation provided by the different grassy knolls. Here there is not a lot of cover for you to use, so it's important that you stay on the move, stay down low when you need to. Be sure to check where the enemy is currently holding. If they're located down in the rail yard, you can definitely expect them to be coming up that hill and through that wall. But if they're holding the ballroom, then you can definitely expect them to be streaming through the main gate any second. Speaking of the rail yard, you really shouldn't be expecting to do too much fighting there. It's very close to the western spawn point and very often not a point of contention. If you do find yourself down there though, make sure you stay nice and high if you're coming from the ballroom side and try and snipe down that hill. And if you're on the western side, make sure you use the different buildings to your advantage. In particular, there's a really nice sniping spot at the top of the tallest building, so make the most of that one. Similar to the train yard, you really shouldn't be expecting to do much fighting at point A, which is the small township right near the eastern spawn. There are a few small buildings there, but most of the time these are going to stay pretty intact throughout the course of the encounter. Maybe an enemy Chank decides to roll in just to mess things up, but it's pretty unlikely. Point B, or Le Croix Fountain, is a spot where you can expect plenty of action indeed. The Western forces are very often going to try and push out from C into that space, so do hold it as much as you can if you're coming from that eastern side. The Eastern forces actually have a bit of an advantage here. You'll notice some points of elevation as the fountain continues to cascade down towards the ballroom spot. So make sure you hold that higher ground. This is a great spot for sniper rifles and for any long-range rifles like the medic class might use. The assault and the support classes are going to struggle a little bit here given the long-range nature.
Feindliches Flugzeug!